Salam Namaste. Welcome to the Unity series. My dear friends, we are consistently misguided in the name of religion. Unfortunately, we can witness that very well educated people also follow religion blindly without applying logic, reasoning, or rational thinking to it. It is interesting and also ironic sometimes that we apply logic to every single activity in our life. We know why we brush our teeth. We know why we take showers. We know why we use a specific type of phone. We know why we use a specific type of motorcycle. We know why we go to college. We know why we work. We know why we got married. We have logical explanation to every single activity that we do in our life except religion. Our logical mind seems to completely shut off when it comes to the matter of religion, and our sentimental and emotional brain kicks in. We assess the quality of vegetable 10 times before buying it, but we barely ask ourselves logically why we are wearing a ring, why we are performing certain ritual, why we are performing certain religious practice, why we are wearing taweez. These things are not cheap. They're very expensive, yet we don't do logical analysis on how a ring is going to keep me safe, how a taweez is going to improve my health, how a pastor can heal some of the scientifically most challenging diseases and disorders like AIDS and cancer on stage with just a prayer. We don't really ask ourselves, we don't do logical analysis on these things. The problem is when it comes to the matter of religion, we operate on fear and insecurities. On an individual level, we are afraid that something bad is going to happen in future. That's why we wear a ring or wear a taweez, or we invite a pastor to perform prayers. On a social level, we think our community is in threat. These two are very dangerous ideologies. They are the root cause for superstitious beliefs, communal violence, communal hatred. Important thing for us to ask ourselves is, who created these ideologies in our minds? Where are these ideas are coming from? Because our scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Vedas, Upanishad, Guru Granth Sahib, Bible, Quran, they don't give these ideologies to us. They are completely silent when it comes to superstitious belief. They're completely silent when it comes to communal feelings. All their principles is completely based on knowledge, based on reasoning and rational thinking. They encourage us to study them, understand them, and then follow them. Don't follow any principle in scripture blindly. Follow only if you understand it. That's the fundamental message, that the fundamental ideology given to us by our scriptures. The problem is we have very poor knowledge on our scriptures. We never read Bhagavad Gita. We never read Quran. We never read Bible. We just follow our priest, and most of the times we follow deceptive priests and deceptive politicians. I'm not saying all priests and all politicians are deceptive, but there are the small segment of leaders who are deceptive, but they have very deep influence on society. They induce hate, they induce fear, they induce insecurity. On the other hand, our scriptures, they give us effective principles to overcome fear and insecurities. Let us examine some of the verses from our scriptures. If you look at Bhagavad Gita 16 chapter 23rd verse, Yashastra vidimutrujya vartate kamakarataha nasasiddhim avapnotim nasukham na parangatim. He who casts aside the instructions of this scripture and act on the impulse desire will never attain happiness nor supreme goal. It's very clear in this scripture, and we should actually think why scripture speaking about this very authentically, why it is saying that if you don't follow this scripture, the instructions found in scripture which are given by Sri Krishna Paramatma preserved in Bhagavad Gita, why if we don't follow it we can never achieve happiness, we can never achieve fulfillment. because the scripture, the principles found in scripture, revolves around this central objective of achieving fulfillment and achieving success. Same with Bible. If you look at the Bible, the book of Deuteronomy 28 chapter 61st verse, every sickness and plague which is not written in this book will your Lord bring upon you until you are destroyed. If you didn't follow this, if you didn't follow the instructions in the Bible, if you didn't understand the instructions in the Bible and follow them, you will have umpteen number of sickness coming to you, and we are witnessing that now. It's particularly talking about mental sickness, right? Mental depression is going up, suicide rate is going up, crime rate is going up, all the things that has to do with our mental abilities, the criminal abilities, criminal mental abilities to be precise, it's becoming very common. Same thing if you look at the Quran, 3rd chapter, 4th verse. He has revealed criterion for you, and whoever denies the instructions, denies the science of God, there is a severe chastisement lies for them. So if you deny the instructions, science in the sense instructions, the verses of the book, you will have to face severe consequences. And this is a criteria between good and bad. I will tell you what is good and what is bad. Even if you look at Guru Granth Sahib, the whole fundamental ideology of Guru Granth Sahib is humanity. It lays so much emphasis on developing human values. It is so inspiring. So our scriptures truly want us to grow. Their central objective is on an individual level. They want us to become successful individual. They want us to reform our character. And on a social level, they want to construct ethical, moral, united and progressive society. Once we develop understanding of our scriptures, they're not very hard to understand. Bhagavad Gita has only 701 slokas. We just have to change our perspective. They don't teach religious rituals. They don't teach superstitious beliefs. They teach certain principles that will help us, that are really truly beneficial for us to become successful in all dimensions of life, on a financial level, on a social level, on an individual level. In all levels, we can become successful if we follow these principles. They are truly a guidance book. They are truly personality books for us. But on the other hand, if we follow the instructions of deceptive communal leaders, we'll definitely find ourselves in misery, in really bad state, depression, and all other mental diseases, and we see it very commonly. So my friends, my advice for you is to read your scriptures. If you are a Hindu, read Bhagavad Gita. If you are a Christian, read Bible, but don't follow the interpretations of your pastor. This is very important. Don't keep this layer on your eyes of your priest interpretations, your pastor's interpretations, because most of the time the deceptive pastors are gonna mislead you. They're gonna misinterpret verses. So you just have to read it yourself, apply your logic, apply your reasoning, and apply your rational thinking, and you will understand that the scripture truly wants to spread love in humanity, not in a specific community. Same with Quran. Don't follow the instructions, don't follow the interpretations of your ulamas. Read Quran logically, read Quran with rational thinking if you are a Muslim. You just have to follow your respective scriptures. There's no need for conversion. If you start following your respective scriptures, our character, we can develop our character, our personal and also social character. On that basis, we can create a united and progressive society. I really wish you and me, all of us, all the best in this journey to construct a very moral, ethical, united and progressive society. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day. Jai Hind.